What's going on today, guys? A little bit of a long time no speak. Unfortunately, I've just been a little bit under the weather, so I've been taking it easy and kind of knocking out some small stuff. So we have the Recession Silverado today. A little bit of a change of pace. Unfortunately, it looks like the Ranger may have milkshaked the motor, at least from everything that I have seen. So we went ahead and parked that in the backyard. It's not a big deal. The Silverado still is not running the best, unfortunately. So I do have a throttle body on order that'll hopefully be here this weekend. Hopefully that solves some issues, but I need to take care of a couple other small things with this truck until we get to that point. So one of the small things that I would like to do, if you guys remember, we did do the black leather LTZ seat swap. These things are absolutely killer. I actually did get new bases for these, or I should say a new leather base for this one at least, because as you can see, this one's got a small tear there, as well as some more wear that I don't really care for. So we did get some new leather covers. These are actually really cheap, surprisingly, to get. So I did get that one, and from my understanding, it literally just hooks in all the way around and is fairly easy to change. So we were still rocking the cloth bench back seat. However, I did finally manage to stumble across a leather extended cab rear. So we do have the leather seats, and I'd like to get those installed. So that is done, just because then the seat swap is done, at least for now, and we can move on to other projects. So that's a fun little thing that we can get done today that gets this out of the way, because then I can toss those either in the bed of the pickup or somewhere else, and we can keep moving on. I still have a rough idle on this truck. Again, I'm hoping that's the throttle body. There's just not a lot of information on these 4.3s, unfortunately. So we're going to try to change out the throttle body. I'm also going to drill a hole right before the catalytic converter to kind of test to see if it runs any better, if it runs any worse. With a hole there, if it runs better, that would indicate a clogged cat. If it runs the same, then it's something else. We are getting an O2 sensor and a throttle body code, and then after a minute or so it pops up a cylinder 4 code, which I don't really believe is super relevant. However, it is there. So it's something I definitely want to tackle to try to get to the bottom of this, at least to get it back into a position where the truck runs decently good. I don't care if it has a check engine light. Thankfully, we don't live in an emission state where that is a large factor. But I would like to get it into a position where it's not such a big deal. So, but we're going to get these seats swapped out, and at least that'll kind of get me kicked off, get me re-energized on this project. This truck kind of bummed me out as we changed a lot of things, tested a lot of things, and ultimately didn't get anywhere. But now I'm in the position where we need to get it done, so we're going to get it done. So I'm going to start by removing the rear seat. It's really not too bad. There ends up being probably, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6. Yeah, I think it's 6 18mm bolts from memory. That's the first step, the whole thing, and then it should have some slats on the back. If I take a look at this one, yep, it'll have these slats on the back that just slide in there. That'll allow us to remove the old one entirely, and then I should be able to just bolt this one in. This one's a 1-piece, not a 2-piece, so there's even some additional benefit there from going with the leather ones, because it's a nicer overall design. So we'll get this set up and we'll get cruising. I do have my new fancy new light, as you guys can see right there. It's really nice and bright, and hopefully it'll give you guys some more perspective. So let's get this seat out and we'll get cruising. Well, and just like that, it was just these 6 bolts or so. Let me just put those in. So you've got 2 in this corner right over here, You've got one each right there. From what I recall, only one of those actually has the seat, at least on the extended cab seats. Now, I believe that the leather ones, from what I remember, utilize that position right over there, which is traditionally on just the extended cabs, the full bench is just the seat belt. However, on this new seat, I believe that's also a bracket point, from what I recall. So we are going to get this all put back together now, but I do need to real quick vacuum off the back of this seat. Actually, let me move this. As you can see, there's a bunch of dog hair on there, so apparently the previous owner was an animal enthusiast. But we'll get this vacuumed off, and then yeah, it should be good to go. I might wipe it down as well real fast, but not too much to do on this. So the only thing different about this one is the attachment point right here. Now I'm jogging my memory a little bit. It actually just uses 2 bolts. I dug around and found 2 bolts that'll fit, but there's an attachment point in the front and at the rear, and that is how the longer portion of the seat actually attaches to the jump seat, which is rigid mounted. So the unfortunate thing about mine is at some point, because I got these from a junkyard, is that at some point somebody had reefed on the passenger side, or I'm sorry, the jump seat there, kind of a little bit difficult. So I might have to actually take that out, rebend the back bracket, and then it'll all snug up. But these are pretty straightforward to actually install. Just like that. And I mean, really, this is pretty much in the home stretch. I need to tighten down the last of the bolts and then snug them up, and this seat is fully installed. So always remember, though, to make sure you wrap over the seat belt in the middle, or else it's kind of annoying to go back and have to do it again. Well, and they're in. So it was super easy. I gotta make sure you guys can see that, sorry. But they're in, and boy do they look good. So I'm not entirely sure that this sub enclosure was the right one for the truck. I can't remember. I don't think it was. And you can ignore these wires. These are wires from the seat install, because we still got to run power to this. But I would say it's super clean. That other jump seat should sit in a little bit. I don't even think you guys can see what I'm more referring to, where it is just ever so slightly sitting out. But man, are those nice. The dual benefit is you can just pick them up just like that. You don't need anything else. They just lock right into place, and they're good to go. So we're going to keep working on this truck, get things a little bit situated. At some point I'll have to pull out the driver's seat again, but that is to redo the bottom leather. I think I want to say I spent maybe 38 bucks, and I got 2 brand new leather covers for the bottom, because it was way cheaper to get 2 than it was to get 1 per piece. So plus the other side is decent, but I couldn't remember at the time, so I just ordered 2. But overall, I would say the seat swap was pretty straightforward. You know, the most critical part was figuring out the power and ground for the driver and the passenger seat, and really it was just the driver's seat was the hardest one. But getting all that together wasn't bad. This being a work truck makes it a little bit more difficult because there's not power ran underneath the seats. But outside of that, it was pretty straightforward. So I can't really complain too much, if I'm being honest with you. So overall, probably recommend it. Wasn't too bad, and yeah, I guess we'll see where we can go with this. So hopefully we can get this truck driving a little bit better than it was. We do have some spare parts. I ended up getting another pair of the black leather seat backs because I only had 1, as well as I did manage to score a premium steering wheel. So the premium steering wheel has all the controls on the side, which would be kind of nice, but I haven't decided if we're going to go down that avenue or not yet. So there's still more to come. This truck's, I don't know, maybe 50% done, but really the key is to get it back into running and driving shape as quick as possible, just to get it back to a point where I can rely on it, and then we can go in, fix the Ranger, you know, do the Mustang and all that other fun stuff. So cool. Well, thanks for joining me tonight. Should be a quicker video overall, but on a positive note, should probably mention this, we finally became a YouTube partnered channel. So thank you so much, because that's all of your guys' hard work and effort in watching the videos, subscribing, sharing whenever possible, and more importantly, enjoying the videos. So thank you guys so much. This journey's been a lot of fun, and who knows, let's see where we can take it. I'll catch you guys in the next one.